What's going on, boxing fans? It's your host, True Boxing. I basically wanted to go over a couple of things that really kind of like grind my gears. Peter Griffin. Um, with boxing, what I hear on these forums, I'm gonna do a lot of these videos about like stupid ass comments and comparisons people make or videos comparing things that absolutely you cannot compare. First thing I want to compare, I've seen this comment so many times. Um, Floyd fights um, Floyd fights Oscar and wins a 12 round split decision win. Um, and it's not so much of an entertaining fight. Then he fights Hatton and he KOs Hatton in that 10th round. And then Pacquiao fights Oscar and he makes him quit. I don't know what round he TK. The knockout occurred, technical knockout occurred, but he TKOs him. Then he fight Haddons and stops him in two. So just imagine what Pacquiao will do to Floyd. Once again, this comes from either ignorance or you just an idiot. You don't think. You really can't. And I'm gonna start off by saying this: you can't compare them. I'm not gonna make excuses. You can't compare them. Period. They don't compare. That would be like saying, I'll give you an example. That would be like saying, which has a better picture, cable TV or satellite TV? The only way you can compare is if you got two of the exact same TVs, got satellite service and cable service, put the TVs exact same company, make and model, size, and put them next to each other on default. You can't put one Sony on satellite and then put one LG on cable and say, oh, the Sony is outperforming the LG, because it's inconclusive. It's not fair. Just like what they say about Floyd. Let's be fair. Let's look at every side. He fought Oscar at 154, a weight that Floyd had never been to. He didn't have a fight before that. He jumped straight to it. You had him fighting in 10-ounce or 12-ounce gloves. Once again, bigger gloves. All right? Never did that before. Oscar is dictating everything. And I know what you're going to say. Well, why did he take the fight? For the money. He figured he could beat him in for the money, of course. But Oscar, once again, that fight, and the reason why it wasn't entertaining is because of common sense. Oscar was the bigger guy. Floyd wasn't. Oscar tried to do exactly what a big guy tries to do to a little guy, and that's bully him around. Floyd won that fight purely on skill. If you have to watch it to know, but he won it on skill. But let's move on. Floyd beats Hatton. He beats him in 10-ounce gloves. Now let's move on to, and he beats him when he's undefeated. All right? Hatton likes to wrestle, so Floyd has to deal with that. And I know what you Hatton fans or Pacquiao fans, well, that's how he fights. The ref kept breaking it up. You're damn right. We didn't come here to see a wrestling match, an MMA match, where they're all laying all on top of each other. We came here to see a boxing match. Okay, now let's move on. You want me to tell you why Pacquiao, in my opinion, he felt he could beat, Oscar? This is a fight that I rarely see people bring up unless they're actual boxing fans, not just a casual watcher. But this is one thing I never see them bring up, but rarely. This is the fight that I believe made Freddie Roach and his handlers or Pacquiao confident that he would beat Oscar. You know what fight it was? It was the fight with Stevie Forbes. When he fought Stevie Forbes, sure, I don't know if he shut him out or he won majority of rounds. I'm not sure. I don't remember. You can look it up. But Stevie Forbes is, let's face it, the guy from the Contender. He lost to I forgot to Grady. I can't think of his first name, but he lost to him in the Contenders in the finals. He's a guy from the Contenders. He was a former title holder as well, trained by the Mayweathers. He put up a fight that let's face it, he's a B-rated fighter, and he put up a fight against Oscar in which he shouldn't have. Oscar's supposedly an elite fighter, and he put up a better fight. In my opinion, if Forbes had a little bit more pop on his punches, he probably would have hurt Oscar more. If you saw Oscar's face after the fight, it looked bad. I mean, really, really bad. His face was swollen. I mean, his nose was kind of messed up. He looked bad. And that fight let me know that Oscar didn't have it. When I seen how Sweet Pea, I mean, not Sweet Pea, but what is he called? It's called 2 Pound? Yeah, 2 Pound. How he went the whole distance with him, and he couldn't do anything with him. He couldn't get him up out of there. And he was, I mean, he was loading up and he was hitting him, but he couldn't get him up out of there. And he was actually firing back on Oscar. That let me know, I said, he don't got it. And I'm pretty sure Roach saw that fight and was like, oh yeah, it's time, because Pacquiao has everything needed. He's faster than Forbes. He's stronger than Forbes. He's going to last longer than Forbes. And if he can, he gonna get him up out of there. That's what gave him confidence. And then once again, it's a variable. They're fighting at 147, a weight that Oscar hasn't been to in 9 or 10 years. 8-ounce gloves. You know why he didn't agree to those terms with Floyd? Let's be realistic. If you're a boxing fan, you know. It's no bullshit. You know why he didn't agree to those terms with Floyd? Easy. Because Floyd probably would have stopped Oscar if they had agreed to 8-ounce gloves or 10-ounce gloves at 147. Floyd would have stopped him, and it would have been a different fight. So of course, Pacquiao's going to showcase his talent against Oscar. He did exactly what I knew he would do. Moving on to Hatton. People thought Hatton rough style would beat him. I didn't. I didn't think he would get beat that easily. But he did. He beat him pretty easy because styles make fights. He ran pretty much. Hatton ran at him like a bulldog, like he does. And like I said, Pacquiao's too fast for that. Didn't work. He got caught. So those, in my opinion, you know, those two fights you can't compare. Just like, flip it, so you won't say I'm choosing sides. Floyd fighting Marquez. You can't compare that with Pacquiao fighting Marquez. I've seen that argument. You see how easy Floyd beat Marquez? Oh, you see how easy he beat him? Imagine what he do to Pacquiao. Can't compare. First of all, two different weight classes. He fought him at lightweight. He fought him at welter. Marquez has never had a fight at welterweight. Even though some of the people bring this up, Floyd's a cheater. He came in over 2 pounds overweight. This is the reason why I say that I don't think that was a determining factor of why he beat Marquez so easily. If you remember the Oscar and Floyd fight, Oscar pretty much ran at Floyd and tried to big man him around, put his weight on him. That's how he figured he would beat him. Floyd didn't do that with Marquez. He fought him like he pretty much fights almost everybody at welter. Kept his distance, and it almost, in my opinion, played with him. A lot of people say, and here's another thing, oh, Floyd couldn't even, finish off Marquez. Pacquiao knocked him down 4 times, so what do you think? Has nothing to do with it. Once again, Pacquiao's a fast fighter. So if Pacquiao's the type of fighter, if he can get you up out of there quick, you're going. Period. He gonna get you up out of there. Floyd's not like that. Floyd's a distance fighter. I've seen just crazy outlandish crap. Oh, Floyd, he stopped Oscar, and so what do you think he'll do to Floyd? Okay, here's a news flash. There's an older guy that you guys that are boxing fans might know of him. His name is what's the guy's name? Bernard Hopkins. I recall him and Oscar having a fight, and he stopped Oscar in the 9th or 10th or whatever round like that. So does that mean Pacquiao, by your logic, since he beat Pacquiao beat Oscar quicker than Floyd did, by your logic, that he'll beat Bernard Hopkins? No, because once again, it's 2 different weight classes and 2 different type of fighters. Bernard is a patience fighter. He'll break you down, and I actually don't believe he broke Oscar down. I believe he hit Oscar, and Oscar realized that the fight was about to start turning and didn't want to get up. I've watched the fight several times, and I don't believe that shot put him down. I believe it hurt him, and it was a way out, because he didn't want to get embarrassed, because that's where the fight was turning. But I'm sick and tired of like dumbass excuses, or people making dumbass comparisons. You cannot compare you cannot compare those victories and those losses or whatever to each other, because it's inconclusive. Boxing is basically, me and a friend of mine, we came up with it. Boxing is basically rock, paper, scissors. That's the best way to describe it. You can't. It's not in boxing. It's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not like that. 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. It's not like that in boxing. It's pretty much, just because fighter A beat fighter B and fighter B beat fighter C doesn't mean fighter A can beat C. C can probably beat A. Case in point with, like Shane Mosley and Vernon and Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest beat Shane. Vernon Forrest loses to Mayorga. Shane beats Mayorga. Shane Mosley loses to Cotto. Cotto beats Margarita. Shane beats Margarita. Did I say it right? Cotto loses to Margarita. Shane beats Margarita. It's rock, paper, scissors. Period. But I'm out of here. So stay tuned for my next video.